If you're using a resistance bands home gym setup like I have, where there's loop resistance bands, a bar, and a platform, I highly recommend that you stay away from doing back squats. Now, the back squat in general, I think, is a very good exercise, especially done with free weights. However, resistance bands are a bit different because of how tension is applied and can be pretty dangerous to perform if you decide to push the resistance a bit too far and lose your balance. Now, I've run a couple tests by doing back squats because I wanted to see if it's something I could actually implement instead of something like the front squat, which ends up hurting my lower back, or the suitcase squat, which can lead to issues where you don't have enough tension at the bottom of the rep and doesn't allow you to get really down to that seated position. It still works, but I'd like something where I get more into that fully down position if possible. So I ran through some back squat variations, and overall it does work. But I'm way too afraid that something bad is going to happen where I fall forward or backward, leading to some serious injuries. And yes, this did almost happen a few times where I just get fatigued from doing the reps, and as I reach that failure point, I end up either almost falling forward or backward, and if that did happen, the board I'm standing on or the band would either snap into my face if I fell backward, or the back of my head and back if I fell forward. And that is something I really want to avoid. I'm trying to do safe home exercises. I don't need anything where I can get seriously injured. So that is why I really do recommend that you stay away from this unless you have a band you know you can control throughout the entire set. However, if you are doing that, you may find that you're not getting great results as the band doesn't provide enough tension to recruit more muscles, getting to a point where your muscles need to grow bigger and stronger during rest. So you might have an issue there if it's just a band that you find is easy to use. So I am performing the back squat in many of the B-roll shots in this video. I'm taking the risk that I could still fall forward or backwards, get myself injured, but that's what it will look like if you decide to perform it with a back squat. The bar I am using is just barely long enough for me to get into that position, but feel free to copy it if you like. Just know you are running the risks I mentioned in here of getting injured by the band or the platform if you lose your balance. Also, please note, if you are using a band that has too much tension and you're trying to get into the starting position, this can be very tough and immediately lead you to falling down. I actually had it where I nearly fell on my face trying to get into the back squat position. So just know that if it is a really high tension band and you're not ready for it, it could pull you straight into the ground right away if it overcomes you getting into that starting position. One way I did find that I can set up a bit easier with this exercise is doing it 1 foot at a time. But again, I'm opening the potential for risk of injury by doing one leg at a time. So I'm going to show it on screen how I did it here, but please note, again, I really don't recommend this. It's just a way I found it to be easier, but really just stay away from the exercise because I think the front squat and suitcase squat will still get you the results if you're able to use progressive overload and push them in each one of your workouts. So ultimately, I think you should avoid this exercise. Do I think it can work? Yes, but I think the risk of injury is way too high with this exercise itself. Now, for regular squats using free weights or other machines or whatnot, I think that's perfectly fine. It's really just with the resistance bands, as the starting position is tough and the potential to fall forward or backward as you fatigue gets high, and it's not easy to bail the exercise like it is the front or suitcase squats where you can just drop them right out and you'd be perfectly fine. You might hit your feet with the bar, but you can just watch out for that. It's better than having the band or the platform hit you in the back or back of the head or even the face, depending on which direction you fall.